Welcome back. Welcome back to the Luxago live stream. My name is Jacob. I'm here with Mickey. Mickey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Good morning, good afternoon,
Good
guys.
morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Hope you had a great weekend and happy early Halloween. We might stream on Halloween tomorrow, so be ready for that. But going over the current market conditions, we are up 1% in the Dow Jones. SP 500 nearly 1% as well with the 33 points. And the NASDAQ almost up 1%, 123 points on the day so far. Obviously, those might be a little bit delayed. But this week, a lot of earnings, a lot of news. Let's jump into the news right now. Let me make sure we get that up for you guys. And starting out today, absolutely nothing, which is awesome. So clean cut price action today. Don't have to worry about any news coming out. Tomorrow, though, 10 a.m., got consumer confidence. Now, we are projected 100 on that. 103 the previous. We'll see how that ends up being. If it hits, we should be okay. And then that's about it for tomorrow. We got the, obviously, after hours, weekly crude oil stock at 30 minutes after close. And then come Wednesday, 8 a.m. Or 8:15, so an hour and 15 minutes before open, we have the ADP non-farm employment change. So pay attention on that. Previous quarter previous report was 89,000. What's projected is 150,000. For those of you that want to understand what is what, just search it. Otherwise, what you can do is you can go and just look at the news when it's posted, and on investing.com it'll be green or red, which tells you which is good or bad, obviously, for those of you that don't fully understand what the news is. We also have ISM, so Wednesday is going to be super, super crazy. We have multiple major news reports. 10 a.m. on Wednesday, literally just sit on your hands, no matter the asset you trade. The only thing you could trade is maybe gold, or you could trade like nat gas. But even then, like the crude oil inventories at 10:30 can adjust or change what nat gas trades as well. But I would just recommend probably not trading at all around 10 a.m. on Wednesday. So just be careful on Wednesday, 10 a.m. Plus, it's the first of the month. So just be prepared then, and we'll see what comes out 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Going into Thursday, obviously, the initial jobless claims, it's once a week. It's predicted the same as last week. If that misses or is less, that should be pretty good for a nice end-of-the-week move. Doesn't look like we have anybody talking this week either, which is pretty good. Maybe somebody early on Friday, it looks like. But then we have the average hourly earnings coming out. Can kind of predict that can be a measurement of inflation as well. So, sometimes it's used by that, but it's only predicted a little, 0.1% more than last report. Then the non-farm payrolls at 8:30. Once again, these are all pre-market usually that are going to drive it. And then, of course, we have ISM on Friday as well. So Friday is probably going to be pretty volatile, as well as Wednesday. So just really pay attention. 10 a.m., like we always talk about. 8:30, an hour before open, or at 10 a.m. Each day, there might be news. So make sure you go to investing.com or wherever you get your news, and then you wait. So that would be really cool to see if we get some nice volatility this week. But for now, we're looking pretty good. So stay up to date on your news, and we'll get to possibly get some trade setups. I forgot to look up, earnings. Hold on. Most anticipated earnings. I can't spell. Week of 10/30. Let's say October 30th. Bam. Let's see here. So, earnings, my web browser will load. Come on. This week should be pretty heavy, like always. All right, Wall Street Bets just has one. We'll just use that for now because they have a better. Oh, don't let me zoom in too much. Anyway, I'll just tell you if you can't see it here. This is October 30th. Today after close, we have Pinterest. We had McDonald's this morning, which we can look at their earnings as well. After close, we have Pinterest. We have Chegg. We have Welltower and Simon. Nothing too crazy. The biggest one would be Pinterest. Pre-market tomorrow, though, we have CAT, BP. A lot of oil and gas stocks. Of course, we have that oil report coming out on Wednesday. Pfizer as well. And then Tuesday after hours, we have AMD. Huge earnings for us to watch for sure. That's my favorite stock of all time. I've been holding AMD since it was like $10. So it's been a great long-term investment for me, but that will definitely be paying attention to that. We can go over it on news as well. Let's see here. Nothing else too crazy. We just got a ding on NeoCloud change on the NQ. We'll see. And then Wednesday, PayPal after hours, CVS early on, Zillow, Etsy, DoorDash. Another nice week of earnings. So we got Starbucks on Thursday. Thursday looks heavy because you got Apple as well after hours, Shopify, pre-market, some more oil, and then DraftKings and Coinbase, Square. A lot of big tech earnings on Thursday, so be ready for that. And then Fubo on Friday would be the only one else I'd probably watch. But overall, pretty heavy week on earnings. But you know what? We should just dive right into the chart, make sure we are ready to go, and look at our massive mover, gold, which we talked about on stream last week, right? We talked about stream gold hitting 2K, and guess what? We hit 2K. That's the title of the stream. The one we've been waiting on to break out and finally hit that 2,000 level, and it did hit 2003 and or almost 2003. Sorry, I don't know. It did actually. The high. What was the high here? I'm on the 3 minute. Let me go to the 4 hour. The high of gold was 2009. What a massive move. That was money. Real quick though, let me jump over and let me put some tunes on like before. I have it favorited. So
Did you get a piece of gold?
did I get a piece of gold? Should I just buy a physical piece of gold? I actually don't own the actual gold. I probably should, to be honest. In this economy. Here we go. Let me get juiced. But here we go. 4 hour gold. What we talking about? That bull flag ended up breaking, and man, did we target 2K, and man, did it hit it. We have a daily order block that we were talking about up there at 2040. So that would be our next target so far as gold is overextended on the oscillator. But what's interesting is notice the volume, the money flow is bearish. So that money flow turning bullish, this could go parabolic if we get a retracement to like 1980, retest these previous highs again, and then say sayonara to this 1980 level and go retest that 2040. That would be awesome. I really think it could happen. We're looking really strong for that, but we'll just have to wait and see. Go with what the price action is telling us. Let me look over the chat here. What's up, guys? We got spooky trades on Halloween from Benji. Christina, welcome back. Benji, welcome back. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new here. Otherwise, we love to see you in the chat too. We love to notice people that do come back and hang out with me and Mickey here. Eli Cool, what's up? Welcome to the stream if you are new. I'm sorry if I didn't recognize you were here before, but welcome. Jack, welcome back. Happy Monday. Art Space, hello. How you doing? Matt, doesn't Pal speak this week? We should possibly. I don't. It should have been on that report. I might have just missed it. Do you know anything?
Is it Wednesday?
Does Mickey? Does Mickey speak this week? Here, let me just pull up. Let me pull it up again. He might. I might have just missed it. We'll definitely be looking at your suggestions as well, guys. So just bear with us. Let's see. Wednesday, we said, right? Let's go this week. I don't see Jerome. Where you at, Jerome? Tuesday.
Wednesday, there should be a rate chatter.
Rate chatter Wednesday. Yeah, we got the mortgage market index and the rate coming out. I mean, they're grading it a 1-star on investing. That's early though. Let me see. And there's so much news on Wednesday. It's like I probably won't even trade on Wednesday. Oh, yep. I didn't even see that. What the heck? We got FOMC on Wednesday. How did I not see that?
No chicken dinner for you.
Okay, we got FOMC on Wednesday. So, my bad. And a rate decision. Massive Wednesday. I didn't even see that. I just scrolled right past it. Yeah, you're not going to want to trade on Wednesday. I'm just telling you right now. Don't trade on Wednesday. How did I miss that? I don't even. I was just talking too fast. I was trying to get through the news really quick. FOMC Wednesday. Seriously, if you want to stay healthy, you skip Wednesday. You wait for the news to set up, and then you trade Friday. Because Friday, if you risk down, or if you're ballsy, you risk up, and then you can hit some mega candles. Because candles on Friday are going to be really strong. So let's pay attention to that. Our CL trade, we're in. Almost got stopped out. There it is. Very close to getting stopped out. For the Neo Cloud strat. We're testing the Neo Cloud strat with, we're in one right now, with the oscillator. So I talked about before on the Neo Cloud strat, we were saying that, we want to, take ideally the first flip, right? First flip, got it. But what if the oscillator, this could have been lucky. What if the oscillator is still leaning bearish, you get a retracement and it plays off above 50 into the 60s? Like, what if that happens? You could get a setup maybe. We have a setup right now. We're targeting these lows. We're up 200 at the moment on the Neo strategy. I was going to see here. I just adjusted the stop. Crude, sadly, is pretty aggressive. I just want to retest this low. See if we just get it here while we're on stream. And we can go over what happened earlier as well. But we'll go over the rest. I'm going to bring the stop down more now. We'll go over the other trades we had this morning. One was a winner. Well, they were both winners, but my greed stepped in because I want to get a one trade hammer. Benji, on gold as well. 15-minute gold. It looked good for a push, and then it just got demolished. I was kind of mad about that. It almost broke out. I thought it was going to break out of that order block because every single time we traded this, majority of the time it'll retest this low, and then it'll just blow through it, like annoyingly. But like here, while we're waiting on this, and we might actually get stopped on this, but again, we like to target the lows. If it happens, it happens. And if it bounces back, it bounces back. But let's go to the gold here while that's playing out. Gold this morning had a setup. Freaking I'm so stupid. I should have just stuck with it. Oh, new thing about the strategy as well. I just take entry parts. So once you get that close over, like a confirmed close, which was here, what I've been doing is setting my entry either a tick above or right at the Neo Cloud. So instead of opening a position at this high, which is like a super extended, right? I've been just putting my entry right at the top of the Neo Cloud or the bottom, depending on if you're short or long. And in this case, it was at the top. Then that way, if you get a retracement or retest of the Neo, you get a lot better entry, and your risk to reward is much smaller. But again, remember, I always say target the recent high. Honestly, the body closes is my favorite part of target. This would have hit it exactly for 250. Actually, 270. But again, I took that. I was like, okay, we might break this out because of this right here. Boom. Oh, let's go back. Here. So let me show you. We had this order block here that we tested once. I was like, okay, we can break through this pretty easily because we already tested it. We retested it, and of course, one candle just takes out that whole entire candle that just printed, and then we ended up getting stopped. I did set my stop a little bit lower here. I moved my stop up, because that's what I do immediately. We start running into profit, but it ended up being, not too great of a move there. I wish we would have stuck with it and just used our strategy accordingly. Okay, let's go over what you got. We could go over as well crude and all the majors if you guys want, or we can just jump into whatever. It's up to you. Nick, you in any trades today, or you see any setups for yourself?
No, not today. I'm having a reset today. I took a swing trade last Friday, and I just closed it out for a $83 big whopping loss.
I got you.
But it's all good.
So.
Take your small losses, because my target was $1,000.
Right.
It was on the micro Nasdaq. So, eventually, I'm gonna hit one of those, right?
There you go.
And it'll offset these tiny losses.
Exactly.
It's all good.
Think about Bitcoin. All right, Bitcoin. Yeah, let's do all the majors here for everybody. Let me pull up the. Hold on. I gotta pull up my other charting. Neo multi-block. Here you go. I want to see for my overall analysis. Wait. Is that the right one? No. Yeah, for my overall analysis, I like to. This should be one. I need to save this as one. Hold on one sec. Let me save this as a single chart. I think. Yeah, because I have a 6 NeoCloud setup. Okay. Overall analysis, like long-term swings, stuff like that, like Bitcoin, like looking at a bigger time frames. I always like to have all the order blocks up. In this case, if you guys are new here, we are doing a NeoCloud strategy that we're testing against a prop firm that we want to see if it can pass. And if it does, then we know that would be a very nice teachable strategy. As long as you stick to the rules, like I didn't today. Nikki needs to like come through the camera and slap me next time I don't do that. All right. NeoCloud on the 4-hour is holding nicely on Bitcoin. We're gonna pull up our chart here, pull up our order blocks here. Got a white. Let me make sure all of these are set correctly. Sorry, one sec. Gold, remember, gold is the 4-hour order blocks. Purple is the daily, and white is the 1-hour. I don't know. Oh, I'm on. Let me go to Coinbase. Bitcoin's OMB money said 65K. Goodness gracious. Yeah, that's a heck of a move. But currently, like we talked about, Bitcoin was holding this NeoCloud, which is exactly what we wanted. Notice, though, money flow is decreasing quite a bit on this. Now, what I've noticed, if the oscillator does continue to reset and then money flow kicks back up on the bull side, you could get a nice push up. Obviously, what's nice, though, is our next level of order blocks on the 4-hour and the daily is above 40K. So if we do get some nice bull volume, we might get a pump to that 40K level. Now, this is the daily. This is a 4-hour. If we pull up to the daily chart, I mean, look at that. We've broken some key resistance. Again, next level is 40K. Love it. At this very moment, though, we're sitting at a previous demand zone, right? We broke through that demand real easily. And now, hopefully, we can treat it as support, which would be nice, and then hit that 40,000. I will say, though, what's kind of crappy is on the daily, we're extended on this oscillator, praying we can get a nice little move. Maybe if we reset, we just come back down to like 32K, but I really want to hold 30K. It'd be really nice to hold 30K, and then we could continue. But in this case, for now, it looks pretty good. As long as it trades sideways, you know how Bitcoin is. All it needs is a little bit of news, and this thing takes off. Technical analysis in Bitcoin can be a big if, like a big if. It's so random. ETF comes out, boom, here comes, $2 billion in buying volume. Like, it's pretty insane. So Bitcoin for now, as long as it holds this, we get that breakout, I think we'll be solid. We just got to wait for that. But 40K would be the upside target. If not, I think a retracement to 32,000 would be healthy. We had a small retracement to like 33. But again, guess where 32,000 is, right? You still got previous resistance for 32,000, which is be money. 31,000 actually, a little bit below 32. But previous resistance, you treat it, support. See a nice little run after that would be really nice. But increase the music a little bit. But let's see if that occurs. For now, let's go to the 15-minute chart. If you want to see a lower time frame, we can, of course, do that as well. Lower time frame. Here you go. Lower time frame, 4-hour order block. We've been bouncing through, right? In and out of that order block very nicely. Hit the 1-hour order block. Now rejected again. Holding the NeoCloud. This actually had our setup on the 15-minute. This is pretty awesome. It almost retraced, actually, a little bit. But again, we like to, on the Neo Cloud strategy, we like to break the bottom after a flip. We broke the bottom there. We closed up. And guess what? We broke through the high. Retested this high. This is our normal setup for the Neo Cloud flip. Stop below the here. We target the high. And bam. That would have been a nice almost 2-to-1 trade. But great little move on Bitcoin right now. Looks bearish in the current moment. You can see that the money flow wasn't very strong on the bull side. It flipped on the oscillator. Oscillator's downtrending. Got to change of character. The Neo Cloud's the only thing conflicting with this. But it did reject a 1-hour order block. So 15-minute wise, I'd say you would retest this 4-hour order block at 34,250. It looks like just in the 15 minutes. So it could be in the next hour or so. Scott Simmons says, Mickey, is the 4-hour 15-minute order block doable for day trading? Not able to hold through NY close.
Absolutely.
So
of
just
course.
because, yeah, he's probably trading a prop firm, which they used to allow swing trading. I think you can once you get to the funded level, but yeah, during the day trading, during the passing phase, it's just you can't, which kind of sucks. They used to have a swing trading account that you could do, but all you can do though, Scott, is what I've done before is you just reopen a trade after close. So it'll close you out at the bell. As soon as the bell opens, you reopen that trade. But yeah, gold. Let me get rid of this song. Hold on. We can go over gold again, or not again, but yeah, we did go over gold actually. But the title is gold, so we might as well just stick with it. But we talked about, for a long time that 2K is going to hit next. We're playing on 2K to hit. We had several patterns showing it, as well as these order blocks were just lining up for a nice little move. And we got it. The 2K hit. We're looking for it to hold and then go for 2,040. Thinking Bitcoin terms here with the 20K. 2,040 is our next target, so long as it holds up around 2,000. So we'll see if that occurs or not. But for now, 2K, lower time frame here. It's holding nicely. You can see the money flow is still bearish, so we want to see if it might continue off of this or not. But other than that, we'll see. Real quick, I've been watching my my trade on crude oil. I need to adjust my stop loss. So the minute we set a lower high, by the way, on these, I like to adjust my stop on the recent lower high. Especially or higher low depending on where we're at. So we are have a stop in profit right now, but it's going to be very limited. It's going to be, we'll make $30, which is fine. I mean, we could close off, 170 here. Maybe when we're live, let's see here. Can I get, let's see, 250 was here. This is not necessarily the recent. Let me go. Let me just modify this one more. Let me go to 26. See if it retests the low here. But like I said, adjusting the stop is always key here. Now we're risk free. We can just let it run. Now we could let it run all the way to this low maybe, and it honestly might blow through this low. But again, like I said before, gold screwed us earlier today on not taking it off, so we might as well just take it off here if it hits. Let's see if it does here. Oh, wait. There you go. Boom. 250.
Here we go.
We hit it. Today, though, like I said, we were at break even. Now we're at 202. We were about $50 in the negative. At 202, we're back to 52,189. So we have roughly 800 to go. Remember Friday we had a losing day around $200. Almost 500, but then Nat Gas late in the day had a nice setup. And we got back 250 on that. So 200 for the day so far. Hopefully we can get, maybe there'll be another trade. I highly doubt it, though. Obviously, every time we stream, it doesn't really set up.
200 is good enough for me.
At 200 on the day, not too bad. Those of you that are new, we're doing we're testing a strategy against a prop firm. This is the only way that I like to actually test if a strategy works. And so far, we have to hit 53,000. We're trading a prop firm through Top Step. We had to hit 53,000. We've had over 7 days trading, I think now, 7 days, full week. We're at 52,189. So it's pretty good for, half week of trading days. So of course this is a smaller account. So if ideally this works, then we'll just buy a 150K account. We can trade with a lot more, but the same risk, right? Because our right now our down draw, we want to stick to less than, our down draw is 2,000, but we want to stick to 500 loss a day or 500 gain a day. But ideally, we go for that 500 gain a day, and it's been pretty good. We've only had 1 or 2 red days. They've only been $100 or like $200 red days. So if this passes, we will open a 150K account. We'll be trading like 3 or 4 of these at a time, and then we'll have 1,000 or 2,000 days. The same risk, but it's just we're allowed to trade more because it's not a 50K account, it's a 150 account. So we'll get into that after we pass. We just have to get there. So there you go. This is another reason why taking it off the table there was a good idea, because we retested this low, didn't fully break it. Now it's trying to close back up. It might break it, but again, we're out, so we're good. This is the Lux Algo Signals and Overlays Indicator. You are on the Lux Algo live stream, so we're gonna be. So we are using a Lux Algo premium indicator for this, and we're showing you that you can create a profitable strategy using these indicators. It's the whole reason why we're here. But again, for those of you that are new to Lux Algo as well, you can also test these indicators out 30 days risk-free. Just go to luxalgo.com or the link in the description. You click this big button right here to get 30 days risk-free. You can also join. You get access to the VIP Discord with the 30 days risk-free sign up. And you'll be in there with me and Mickey and learn about all the strategies we use to pass these funded accounts. So, yes, sir. Wait, Lux Algo has indicators? Yeah, no, we don't. I'm sorry. We don't have indicators. Just kidding. We love you. Thanks for joining this stream. And yeah, happy to work with you in there, and we'll answer any questions you got if you do sign up. But we hope you do. Let's see here. I thought it was just Jacob pressing buttons. Oh, yeah. I mean, I technically am just pressing buttons. Beep, beep, beep.
Jacob's got all the jokes
I'm
today.
gonna set an alert here. And watch this. Crude's gonna hammer that. Here's the thing. This is the worst part about FOMO, right? FOMO, I swear, is like karma. It's like the same thing. Or it acts the same way. It's like if we were to hold this trade, it wouldn't hit. But if we don't hold the trade to that low, it won't hit. Wait, it will hit. So at this point, because we closed it, I mean, we hit pretty good. We hit 250, which is what I like to hit. But since I'm not holding it now, it's going to hit that. But if I were to hold it, it wouldn't have hit it. Trust me. But most recent swing low was this one, which was what we should have targeted in the first place. We got it, and we closed out. So there we go. Boom. Strategy complete. Let's go back into gold. Let's look at gold on these signals and overlays 4 hour with the AI signals. My goodness, what a move this sucker had. We talked about this before on the 4 hour here. Look, getting that 2 signal, remember, is a potential setup for a 1 and 2 are potential reversals, right? Because they're earlier on signals. 3 and 4 are trend continuation, stronger signals, right? In this case, it did set up nicely where we got that 2 signal. We got, that change of character. All of this lined up perfectly. We got the flip of the smart trail here, right? And then we got this turning point with overflow on the money flow. This is another strategy that, honestly, I like for long-term trends. Great strategy for long-term trends. Wait for everything to line up. Guess where that entry was? If we look for this entry on gold, it was right here on this day, right before that massive break of structure. We set, our stop loss below the swing low, and then we go for, in my opinion, we would, if we're swinging, we go for the next swing point, right? Next swing point was right here. Next swing point high was right there. It would have been a 4-to-1 trade. You could take some off there. Then you go for the next swing point after that, which should have been up here. You would have had a 6-to-1 trade. And then next swing point after that, there isn't one. It's at this high now. It's at the 20,040. So if you're looking for something like that where it's more long-term or swing trading, this specific type of strategy is money for that. You use the signals and overlays. You use all 3 together, and you're looking for all of them to line up. Here, oscillator lined up with overflow. Change of character, 2 signal. Smart trail. Not a single one was pointing bearish, right? Not a single one. You take the trade and, well, bam, you got, a nice 6-to-1 move. I'm eagerly waiting for Lux Algo bot, newly joined, and HVE indicator. I don't know what you mean by bot, but you can't automate all your alerts. you can do alerts in each one. Pretty awesome. You can do step-by-step things. So if I want like the classifier to print a 3, and then a signal to be it has to be bullish, and then the smart trail has to flip, I could trigger this to send a signal to myself. So we do that a lot. We do that with the Neo Cloud strategy right now. It lets us know when the Neo changes, so we can look for a setup. But in that case, you can automate any alerts on any of these indicators for any feature, which is pretty awesome. We got some crazy updates coming on later this month or later in November as well. So stay tuned for that, considering the step-by-step system and all that. Does the 30-day trial require me to enter your card information? Yes, it does. When you do sign up, but it is guaranteed. So if you don't end up liking it, all you do is reach out to our support on the website. Talk to support on the website. They will set up everything for you if you don't end up liking it, and you can easily get your 30-day money back. So no worries on that. We got you covered no matter what. Nikki, anything you want to go over, or we can just keep continuing to
No,
analyze?
I mean, what do you got? What do you got on crude? I mean, you going in for another short after it breaks that low?
No. We hit our
done?
trade on crude. The other trade we had today was a YM. YM, I'm starting to fall in love with this thing. I never usually trade YM. Don't ask me why. But this thing loves to just set higher lows or lower highs. I don't know why, it just does. Today, what I've noticed too, by the way, because I'm new to trading YM as well, especially their futures, the big thing to note here is, boom, $5 futures. That is awesome, because then we could trade minis. Not have to worry about trading micros, because micros, I do like trading micros for this specific risk on this account on the NASDAQ and the ES. But I'm recently noticing, man, YM might be the only one I want to trade out of the NASDAQ and the ES. NASDAQ ES, very volatile, can ruin these little small moves sometimes. So I try to be a little bit careful on that. We've had the most success trading gold, crude oil, and nat gas, and now YM. So today on this trade, you can see the little arrows here. We talked about it. It actually hit twice, which is pretty awesome. What did I say? I like to look a retest of the Neo Cloud. So I'm not entering here. I'm entering down here. Got that breakout. Let me see the oscillator. Oscillator was bearish, but it was decreasing at the time. But it was coming from a low. Decreasing at the time. I noticed bull volume is stronger. In this case, we were still in obviously a massive uptrend from open yesterday, but this was the first time that this thing fully broke, right? And it was after open. It wasn't at open. Didn't occur at open, happened after open. Showed a lot of wicks too. That could always indicate strong support. Got that breakout though. We took our entry off of this little guy here to get back and stop below that, right? Targeted the high. We got it back. We got back our loss from earlier. I think we traded 2 contracts on this. Let me double check. Maybe I did trade one. No, I didn't. 50's 250. Yeah, I did trade one, actually. That's perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. So we did trade one on this because $5 is perfect per tick. So you can see the arrows there from entry to exit. But that covered our gold loss, put us back at break even, and then the CL just put us back in the green. But man, we'd be 3 for 3 today if I just stuck with my strategy. But notice here, this broke out, right? Broke out of that high. It's like I've just been seeing it repeatedly. Break out of the high, break out of the high, break out of the high. And the one time we don't close at the high, it doesn't break out. So there you go. That's the FOMO / karma that you have to watch out for. Let me look through what you guys have said here. Gold, I'm in for big lot scalping. What indicator do you use? We went over that. Mr. Dibist said, I think 100% sure gold target 2224. I love that. Let's go. We cranking, baby. Let's get it. What'd you say, Fierce? Oh, yeah, I got you. Of course. I'm happy to answer any questions about Lux Algo for sure. You guys shoot them my way. We got you. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us so far. Has Mickey Trade have the order blocks given him the juice? Do you understand what that means?
As I'm not sure. I mean, hey King, did you use the order block and you got the juice? Is that what it is?
He got the juice, man. I got the juice. He got the juice. All right. Crude sitting at these lows. I do want to see. I mean, nat gas, it just flipped. So look, this is what we do now. Here you go. Strategy setup. Nat gas broke out. Neo flipped. Nat gas is downtrending now, but we'll see here in a sec. Let's see how the Neo cloud is here. I just set an alert like that, and then I go, eat a sandwich or something. But ESNQ, they flipped themselves.
What kind of sandwich?
Oh man, my favorite sandwich is Jimmy John's by far. And there goes CL breaking down for us. Gold 5-minute actually has a little bit of a setup there, but again, for gold and CL and NatGas, we've had more success on the 3-minute. We could see if gold sets up on that 5-minute there. We won't take the trade because we're not used to the 5-minute on gold, but let's add an alert. Just the chicken sandwich. What do you think gold?
Chicken biscuit.
Man, dude, you're making me hungry. I'm actually honestly hungry now. But let's look over some Forex pairs. Somebody mentioned something earlier. I forgot to look at it. My bad. Let's see here. Where's that? 8 Forex pairs. The guy who said something earlier. I'm looking for you. Where you at? They want to know the 10 pip strategy again. Oh, okay. Here we go. The pound versus the dollar. Let's go over that real quick. Let's pull up the pound versus the dollar. Oh, that's not an indicator. I don't need an indicator. All right, first up, we start on the 4-hour, right? Ooh, we choppy right now. Very choppy. Man, I just need to trade the strategy on everything. This thing went lower off of the recent move down there, too. Okay. In this case, let me bring the music down just a tad. Sorry, this one's a little bit louder. There we go. All right. In this case, we're holding a lot of support. Obviously, guess what? We had a lovely bounce Wednesday, October 4th, early this month off. What? What's the gold blocks? Mickey, you know what a gold block is. What is it?
Gold blocks? What are you talking about?
The gold order blocks.
Gold order
What time
blocks.
frame? What time is gold order block?
It looks like a 4-hour to me.
That's exactly 4-hour order block. That's our favorite order block, 4 hours. We bounced off that. We haven't fully retested it yet, right? So that's a good sign so far that this could be a level that, could be strong support. This is 8% block though. We have the limit of how many order blocks we can have. As you can see when I scroll back, there's a ton of them, right? So anything that's above 4%, in my opinion, is very strong level. So this order block acting 8% there, it bounced perfectly off of that, set that higher low, made a run, right? We're now downtrending slightly. Oscillator, though, is setting up beautifully for a continuation. Remember, we always talk about this on stream. If you're new to stream, this is what we like to look on when we see the oscillator. We like to see the oscillator extend, right? Oscillator extended, lovely here below the 20 level. Money flow has been pretty weak here because it's been choppy, right? So in this case, right now, we set that higher low. We had that downtrend with the lower high there. But guess what? Just broke. So now we could say we have officially gone into a potential uptrend. Let's pull this back now and look at it. In my opinion, because we didn't fully retest this order block, I want to see now some bull volume come into this. Welcome, Raptor. Appreciate you being a part of the stream. In this case, we'll go over that in just a second. Sorry. But for this pair, hold on. Let me pull the watermark so people that join to know what we're talking about here. Look at crude oil breaking back down to see if it did. Anyway, we want to see it, come back into the Neo Cloud on the 4-hour, right? We have the Neo Cloud up for the signals and overlays, and we want to see it break this recent lower high. That's going to probably print another change of character. and then we want to see it break that Neo cloud. If it gets up through the Neo, for those of you that like to swing trade, we want to be 122 or higher for this thing to go up, right? In that case, if it's 122 or higher, we're probably going to see a retest of this candle. Its high was 122.88. And then its close was 122.639. So 122.6, probably right 122.7, which is right in the middle of that order block. In this case, Raptor said what are the percentages associated with the 4-hour order blocks? It's telling you volume based on all the order blocks that are shown. So in this case, you like to see all the order blocks. So we do increase our order block number. We put 500. Now, the max is somewhere below 500, but we put 500 just to be safe, to make sure we get them all printed. I eventually will figure out how many we can have in total. It might tell me here. That doesn't. I'll find out how many in total we can actually have per time frame. But in this case, we just set 500 because it's just easy because it already is default to 5, so we just put 2 zeros. But for now, because of that, if I were to take off, I'm going to take a drink of water here. One sec. Let me just take off gold crossing, by the way. This is the 5-hour, so in my opinion, won't be taking the trade. Look at crude oil. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Where were we? We were in here. Goodness gracious. Crude oil hit 2-1 on that move. Incredible. Wow. All right. Sorry. I got distracted. For the, where is it? There it is. Okay. So if we were to, go default on these order blocks there, Raptor, you'll see here the percentages are going to jump, but that one order block down there went away. So that's what I was saying is why we crank it to 500 so we can see all of them. And the only reason that one went away is because this is printing the 5 recent order blocks, right? If we want to see order blocks in this case from way back in the past, like right here, Wednesday in March, we have to increase that. Notice here why we do that. It's because look at the British pound. It bounced in March off an order block that was printed, in November. So it's like, that's why we like to have them all up. We like to see here you go again. We had that bounce there from March. That's why we have it up, so we can see it. But in this case, since there's 500, it's taking the percentages of that volume from these levels and dividing it by the max amount of order blocks that could be shown. And you know what? I'm going to message Grover right now and see what is the max amount of order blocks
4,000
per time frame you can have. We'll find out the max, but then that's what you would divide it by. But in that case, that's why we say anything 4% and higher is usually a more significant level, because notice 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%, 2%, 3, 1%, 1% less significant. Higher the percentage, to make it real clean cut and simple, higher percentage, the more likely it's going to have that bounce reaction or rejection, right? So not saying that a 4% or 8% can't break, right? Because they can always break. Highest volume ones can easily break. But that's why we say wait for a reaction. This is a clean reaction. Went down and wicked it, and then came up close super strong, right? Then we wait for our setup off of, higher low or whatever you want to call it. In this case, it bounced off actually there wasn't a fair value gap that formed there, but it did bounce off of a nice retracement off of that. Okay. So it depends on the features, but is what the developer said. Depends on the features, but it is around 125 order blocks it can do per time frame. But guess what? That's why we put on, multiple different time frames so we can see which ones align as well. Okay, cool. But yeah, do you want to hold on, let me see here. But in the pound, 122, our next target would be 122.7. Would be back of that higher order block. We like to the upside for now.
10 pips will be towards the end of the stream.
The end of the stream?
No, I'm just joking.
One sec.
That's funny.
But let me see here. 10 pip strategy, of course. Yeah, they definitely want to see that. Let's see. Daniel said, "Hey guys, thanks for a great stream as always. Jacob, I've been using your strategy today, and it's been great on YMCL and gold. I'm testing and trying the 1 minute on ES and NQ. People have been saying the 1 minute's been solid. We can go back and look at it. Man, CL dumped too. The 1 minute looks pretty good as well. Yeah, ES and NQ is always a toss up in my opinion. Sorry, I'm just getting live answers from our developers. So if you do have a question, I'm happy to. We eventually are going to bring on, like, if there's any major questions about certain things or features, we can bring on the head developer and he can talk about it. Things that I don't understand. He could talk about if you guys really want to know that. It would only be for a brief moment of time, like 5-10 minutes. He could talk about something. But eventually, maybe once a week or so, we would have him come on and talk about a new feature, or if there's a highly sought after question about, you know, a certain feature that people really want to know more information on, we totally can have him on to talk about it. In this case, crude oil. Beautiful breakdown. And look at this. Look at gold going without us. Let's pull up that 3 minute. See if it hadn't flipped yet. But gold here, this is what we talk about. In this case now, I'm not going to take a short, but remember what I said, I want to set, I haven't decided if we want to have always our entry at the retest of the Neo or just enter on close. In this case, this is where it enter on close is kind of like, oh man, we might miss out on, you know, a move directly after it closed lower. So there is only one downside to it. Sometimes you might miss moves that are just super aggressive, which kind of stinks. But I do think a majority of the time it does make a retest if we're looking for that trend setup. And your risk to reward would be a lot lower. Bullish Neo on ES. But Mickey, yeah, what you want to look over something, or you have something in mind that you want to share? Somebody said the Euro SGD. I don't even know what SGD is, Jimmy. What is that? Do you know what SGD is?
SGD.
I can't be right. Maybe he was trying to say. Hold on.
Who mentioned SGD?
SGD. Oh, Singapore dollar. See, look, I don't trade forex, and that you know because of that. He wanted to look at Euro SGD, I guess. Decent volume.
Interesting.
Alex, Jacob, could you check the hyper trend on daily gold? It's the only asset in time frame. It doesn't work for me. Same for everyone. Hyper trend. Oh, the free indicator?
Hyperwave?
I think he's saying the free indicator hyper trend on what do you say? The gold. Do you know which gold pair are you looking at though? Which exchange? Because it could be on the day. He said daily, right? This thing might not come up on daily charts. Let me see here. It does actually. Never mind. Forget I said that. In this case, here's the difference between the free indicators and the premium indicators. This is something that you could report, but it probably won't get fixed for a while. This is Hypertrend. This is a good probably move to let's say USD. Here. We do need to make a segment probably, Mickey, where we go over like the free indicator of the week or something. This is a Hypertrend indicator. It is a free indicator. For those of you that aren't familiar with our free indicators, boom, another plug to the LuxAlgo website, because this is probably the coolest thing. And goodness gracious, I'm on Firefox. This is, you'll notice it's different on yours for this part, but this is the coolest thing that we do here is we're constantly developing indicators that are completely free to you guys. Now, these indicators, like I just said to Alex, I'm sorry that the one's not working on the daily. We release these indicators and we will fix bugs every once in a while, but our main focus is the premium indicator. So anytime that we have any problems with the premium indicators, we're always focusing on updating those, making sure they are giving you the best features to make that profitable strategy you've been looking for, right? All these free indicators are sometimes just concepts and ideas that we come up with to give you guys that you might like. Not all of them are going to be updated all the time. Ones that are even more popular will get updated more, but you'll see we have some free like machine learning ones that you can kind of see on the side of the screen there. And then we have, range detectors, ideas that are going to really, help you potentially pair them with the premium indicators that could really help, some of the strategies you're trying to filter. You never know. But in this case, any concept that we take and we believe is going to give you the best opportunity for a profitable strategy, we put and constantly update in the premium indicators. So the free indicators I would take lightly when you go and actually use them. A lot of them are really good. Like the Hypertrend, fantastic indicator for sure. Predictive ranges was a previous premium indicator that we released for free, and this thing is insane. Love that indicator. But we like to tell people to pair them. Use our free indicators alongside the premium one to find that strategy for yourself, to really help with, closing off some losses that you might not want. But the cool part too is some of these are available on multiple platforms. There's a little drop down over here that you can't see at the moment on the right side next to the time-based tier, where we have some available for MetaTrader, Thinkorswim, NinjaTrader, and TradeStation. So go check that out for sure. But in this case, as you can see, October 25th, last week, we had a new release, Super Trend Polyfactor Oscillator. You just hit see details. You'll see that there's multiple platforms you can get it for. This is on the Luxalgo website under library, completely free. Just go there, check it out, see what you like. You can also search. Obviously, you can put in tags like order blocks or volume base or liquidity, machine learning, drawing tool, whatever you want, indicator of, we probably have it. So go check it out. My favorite indicator, probably, I've talked about this several times, is the automatic Fibonacci trailing stop, and the ranges as well. So love it. Alex, if you want to report that, you can. I can report it for you as well.
Good stuff.
But yeah, we got a MNQ bullish. MNQ with the bull. Let me take the Hypertrend off there, but crude with the perfect hit. ES, there you go. There's that big crank on ES. Dow, man, is it leading today? Big time. But yeah, Mickey, anything you want to go over?
Yeah, I can go over my charts a little bit and how to set everything up from scratch for everyone.
You want to go over your 10 pip strategy?
Yeah, shoot it over to me.
Highly requested.
All right. There we go. 10 pip strategy. Okay, I'll talk about 10 pip strategy in a bit.
Well, while you do that, I'll
take a break. Get a chicken sandwich.
I am gonna go to the bathroom. That's for sure.
All right, cool. The 10 pip strategy is more of a mindset rather than a conceptual strategy, but I'll go ahead and explain that.
Jimmy, we'll go over that here in a sec, man. Just stick around. I got you.
Euro SGD. Oh, okay. All right. Here is signals and overlays. Right. Default settings. I want to address the question that I've been receiving quite a bit. What are the best settings? I don't know what the best settings are for you, but I know what they are for me, but here's what you could do to find your best settings, right? What you want to do, this is what I do for an exercise. Whenever I have a new indicator, this is what I do, okay? Here is signals and overlays, 4 hour time frame on BTC. USDT, okay? It doesn't matter what symbol or what time frame, okay? Just put your favorite one up, put a good, trending bias time frame. Don't use a 1 minute yet, not a 5 minute. Do something 15 minutes and higher, all right? You don't want to confuse yourself in the beginning. But this is what I go through whenever I use a new indicator or I want to start from scratch, reset my head, right? Signals and overlay, defaults, and I will reset it to default to let everyone know, right? Reset settings to default, okay? So what we have here is not too bad, all right? How do you trade this? Well, we don't trade this just yet. We need to optimize this for our own style, right? What we have here is a smart trail, candle coloring, and we have some alerts, right? The first thing I do personally is turn off the alerts. I don't want those to cloud my mind or give me a certain bias, right? I am going to force my brain to read and analyze the chart. Those alerts can be added later, okay, but not right now. All right, so what we have here is Smart Trail. Not too bad, right? As most folks would say, not too shabby, right? Anyway, so what I do is I go through the features. I test them out. The visual trending features. There's a Smart Trail. Turn it off. Turn on the Neo Cloud. Okay. Wow, that's not too bad, right? I'll overlay those. Smart Trail and Neo Cloud. Okay. So what you could do here, take the Smart Trail entries in the direction of Neo Cloud. This is not a strategy. I'm just trying to teach you from scratch to create your own template strategy. Okay. Okay. Let's leave the Neo Cloud on. Okay. Why don't we turn on the trend tracer? Take a look at that feature. Here's the trend tracer, the dotted lines. Here's the red ones. Here's the green ones. So why don't we take the trend tracer entries in the direction of the Neo Cloud? Okay. So so hopefully everyone understands starting simple, right? Let's turn off the trend tracer. How about we turn on trend catcher with the Neo Cloud? Okay. Trend catcher is the green line. Okay. Let me expand this. There's a red trend catcher in here. Why don't we take the trend catcher in the direction of the Neo Cloud? There's your entry. Okay. No entry yet here. Red trend catcher. Bullish Neo Cloud. I do not have a bullish trend catcher yet. This is on a 4-hour on Bitcoin. Okay, so that's another way to look at this. Let's take a look at some other features. Let's turn on reversal zones. Okay. Can you create a strategy with the reversal zones? Maybe. When price hits the reversal zones, close out your trade. Or when price hits the reversal zones, do you want to fade the trade, a contrarian entry? Right? Take a look at this. Bullish move hits the reversal zones. Depending on your price action and how you read it, you could take a short scalp. Okay, same thing was here. Bearish candles, depending on how you read price action, you can take a long. So many ways. All right, let's turn off the reversal zones right now. Okay. So this is how I start from scratch. Okay. Now, let's go over to the chart that I always use. Bitcoin. Where's Bitcoin? Right there. Okay. I have the Neo cloud. Okay. I add the matrix default. That's pretty much it, folks. It's not too far off from what I just described and how to start from scratch. This is not too far off from the default, but this is the little tweaks that I do. Okay. I use autopilot long-term. That's my favorite, and I'll explain why. I use the AI signal classifier.
Alex, I got you in a sec.
And I show all the signals, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. I zoom out. I just want to know the overall trend. That's the purpose of this chart. And I will scalp on a lower time frame. Okay. You can go one step further. I love the trend catcher. Okay. That's my chart right here. Now, for the 10 pip strategy. Okay.
You don't have to go over that if you don't want. It's up to you.
No, it's really not a strategy per se. It's just a mindset, you know.
Teach that mindset.
Here's what it is.
Spit facts, Mickey.
So for the 10 pip strategy, I understand the risk to rewards, you know, and I understand one huge loss could wipe out your week's winnings. I get that, and I'm not arguing that fact, you know, but this is the thought process. In order to scalp those short target prices, right? You need to find a conceptual rule. What do I mean by conceptual rule? Meaning hard facts rules that you don't have to interpret too much. There's no ambiguity, right? So if you create a rule, a conceptual rule, here's an example. Green bars and red bars. I'm only going to trade longs when the bar is green. That is a set hard rule, a conceptual rule. There is no ambiguity, right? There's no interpretation. That's it. 1 + 1 = 2. There is no other answer, right? So if you can find that one rule for yourself and back test it, and if you believe there's more winners than losers, that's where the 10 pip strategy comes into play. Because you're going to have a high win percentage, right? And that one loss you're going to take with trade management will not hurt you. The trade management on your losing trade will not hurt you in the long run.
Luke is the biggest troll ever.
What is Luke saying?
1 + 1 = 11.
It could, if you live in Turkey. Anyway. But hopefully everyone understands that. But let me go through my charts. All right. The Dow, right? You brought up Dow, and let me talk about Dow.
Mr.
Right?
Dow.
Let me go to the price action concepts template. All right.
I love Dow now. Me and Dow.
I know, right?
Best buds.
Let me go over my concept, my 4-hour strategy on the 4-hour price action concepts, right? I have here in the gray tones, the charting times time frame order blocks, right? These order blocks, are the 4-hour order blocks. Okay. I will also overlay a higher time frame set of order blocks. For the 4-hour chart, I love the daily order blocks. Here is my price action concepts on the daily. Here's my settings. Daily. I have them different colors. Instead of gray tones, I have them green and red. Okay. So here's the strategy. It's just order blocks. That's it. There's nothing else. No fair value gaps. There's no market structure. There's no nothing on this chart. Those other features come into play on a lower time frame. I want to trade these order blocks. I want to have a reaction when price revisits these order blocks. I want to trade price when they exit an order block. I want to trade the price when it rejects from an order block. That's it. It's a conceptual rule. There is no ambiguity. There's no interpretation. It's a hard rule. Okay? Example. Daily order block. When it breaks out of this daily order block, I want to trade. It broke out over here. Okay? It also broke out over here too. Both are legitimate trades. Okay? Here's the path I want to see. I want to see price break up from these order blocks, and I want to see price break down from these order blocks. Price can do three things: break up, break down, or chop. So what is the definition of chop for me? The definition of chop and range for me is inside a daily order block or the charting times frame order blocks. So those are the three paths that price could take. I do not want to trade inside this order block. There's some good trades in there, but for me, it's a rule that I want to create for myself where there's no interpretation. 1 + 1 = 2. That's it. There is no other answer, right? So right now, price broke down from this order block. Let me delete all this stuff. Price broke down twice. Broke down twice. Okay. So on a lower time frame, like a 15-minute or a 5-minute, I will take an entry short. I will never look for a long, because on the 4-hour chart, it's telling me only take short trades, short entries below this order block. And that's it. That's my strategy. Nice and simple. There is no interpretation, right? There is no nothing. That's it. It's a mindless strategy for myself. Let's take a look at another example. I love it when price revisits an older order block.
Luke, I thought you could pinpoint reversals, buddy. Keep going. Sorry, I'll probably just come in and talk smack to Luke every once in a while, but you just keep teaching.
Go
keep
ahead.
preaching, baby.
That's fine. Yeah, on the soapbox, right? I love it when price revisits an order block sometime down in the future, right? It's difficult to trade when price revisits an order block when that order block just formed. It's kind of like trying to pinpoint the bottom or the top. But when price comes back to an order block, when that order block was formed the day before, last week, last month, that is the prime setup for me, right? Here we go. Here is a screen daily order block that was formed, I don't know how long ago, right? I am looking for price to reject from that order block. Let me get rid of the watermark there, okay? And I'm looking for price to go through the order block and down from the order block, right? So what did price do? It rejected from the order block. So on a lower time frame, I'm only looking for longs. I don't care about short trades. I don't care if those short trades I missed went for 10, 20, 100 ticks or pips. Don't care. It's just a rule for myself. Because if I try to trade longs and shorts every other minute, I'm going to get chopped out. I've learned my lesson. So for me, I want to pick a direction, and I want to stay with that direction for the most part of the day, right? So during this day, this time period, I'm only looking for longs. And once I'm out of this trade, depending on your strategy on a lower time frame, you're done. I am done. I don't care about this stuff here. I want to wait for the next order block. So where's the next order block? Okay, this one formed, so this is not a valid order block. It pierced through, but once it pierced through, this did not form yet. All right, so we got to say goodbye to this one. All right. Price came up, came down, came up. Now this daily order block formed. Now it popped up on the screen, right? So what do? Price came down, broke out and down. I am looking for shorts on a lower time frame. Okay. Once that scalp is done, I'm going to sit on my hands. But guess what? Here's the beauty trade now. Price is coming into an order block that was formed how many days ago? Right? All hands on deck. I am waiting for price to break out of an order block or break down from an order block. What did it do? It broke down from an order block. So on a lower time frame, I'm only looking for shorts. I am only looking for shorts below, what is this? Below 33,700. That's it. That is my rule. So depending on your strategy, you could have scalped this how many times? Or you could have held, right? But after your trade, you are done. You're sitting on your hands, and now you're waiting for how many days? You're not going to get a million trades a day. You may get 1 or 2 juicy trades a week on one symbol, right?
Yes, and NQ with the big breakout.
Big breakout.
YM already broke out. It's just ESNQ finally followed.
All right. Here's a YM right here. All right. Okay. Again, price is revisiting this daily order block. So what do? I'm going to avoid inside here. I'm going to wait for a break up or break down. It broke up twice.
And you can come back and watch the live stream 2x speed for sure.
I am looking for longs.
Watch it later.
Above this daily order block on a lower time frame. That's it. I don't care about the short move. This is beautiful. This is nice. I don't care. Right? Price came back. I don't care about the short. I'm not shorting this because there was no level up here. This is no man's land. Came back down. But when it comes back to this order block, all hands on deck. Right? Now, here is where I need to be true to my rules. Look at the current price action. It is pumping. It is pumping, no doubt about it. Whoever took this is a millionaire. It's pumping, right? But for me, take a look at this. The only trade was here. I'm only telling you realistically. It broke out. Once it broke out, you scalp on a lower time frame, right? But look, there's another order block. all hands are on deck. You wait till it breaks out. But guess what? It broke out and hit the daily order block. So to be honest, in real time, I'm sitting out, right? Here's what it looks like in real time. How scary is that to take a long on this chart? I can't tell the future. Per my rules, I'm sitting out on this one. So what? I don't care. This is a test, right? For you as a trader. Sit on your hands. For me, my rule is to sit on my hands. Now I'm waiting. I am waiting for this. Okay. Or I'm waiting for this. Okay. So that, in a nutshell, is my 4-hour order block strategy. Anyone can learn this, you know? So,
you get more detail. You have it in the premium strategies, right?
Yeah, I have it in the premium strategies.
Yeah, he did write it up as well in the premium strategies of the VIP Discord. When you do sign up, you get access to that Discord for free, so it's not some separate thing. But
yeah. So if you use, look, here's another way to trade it. This 4-hour order block strategy I just described for you. When you go to a lower time frame, I can bring in Jacob's strategy and scalp it in that direction.
There you go.
Right. So give you an example, right? Like this. What if the Dow broke out? Right? It broke out. I can call Jacob. Hey, Jacob, only take longs. Only take longs. That's it. It doesn't matter what strategy you use on a lower time frame. For me, I'm only going in one direction. It keeps my mind clear, so I don't have to be looking at, divergence or this or that, or it gets me all confused. So if I'm only concentrating in one direction, guess what? I'm going to be an expert in that direction, and I'm going to be, so focused in that direction, right? So a lot of traders say, well, you don't get too many trades on a 4-hour. You're absolutely right. And that's the purpose of it. I only want 1 or 2 trades a week on one symbol. But guess what? I'm watching more than one symbol. Me personally, I'm watching the ES, the NQ, the Euro USD. Those are pretty much the 3 main ones, right? I used to watch UJ, USD, JPY. But it is at high levels where there's no really good order blocks for me to use up top.
Really quick, I'm gonna flip over.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I took an entry on gold here. I'm gonna kind of explain why. Very low risk was a big thing on this, and we have a potential of setting up. Let me flip over to me. So we took a long here on gold 3-minute. So I am noticing that the money flow is increasing to the downside a bit here. So it could take us out, but we do have a very low risk to the downside. So we're only risking about $100 off the 200 we've made to make $200 to $300. The reason I like this though is we set almost a double bottom here or bounce off the same level already. Still bullish on the Neo cloud, but the big thing here was we extended on the oscillator as well, and now we're peaking with it at a high. So in my opinion, with this trend break like this, because it's been setting lower highs, with this risk reward so low, we might have a nice higher low getting set here with this retracement to continue to retest this high. So because the risk reward's that low, and the strategy, of course, remember, we break below the Neo, then we break above it, and then what I said recently is we enter on the retest. It is occurring. The only thing that's not lining up as well for what we would want is the oscillator, but we have a low risk reward at the moment. The only issue is now if volume could come in and take this out, but again, it's only $100 on the 200 we've already made, so it is playing better off in our favor for a setup. In my opinion, we have it there. Let's see what the we want to, like we said, retest the recent high, which would be here. So that if this goes, we'll move our stop to break even, and then for now, like I said, I'm actually going to move my take profit to here, to this resistance. So you're looking at the $250. But if this moves and starts to retest this high here in a little bit, and like 15-20 minutes, then we'll move our stop to pretty much break even or right below the low of this candle. But volume has been pretty slow to get back down here, so it's another reason why I like it. But again, you can notice how choppy it's been here, so we could get taken out here in a second, but we'll see. We'll kind of wait on it and watch what it does. But it's been showing some nice support, so we'll see if it maybe wants to trend back. But I do like the way that this has played off so far, so we'll see how it goes. Was there any note you wanted to end on, Mickey? Or I didn't. You can come back to it. I was just.
Oh no. I'll come back. No. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Let me go back to what Alex said. We'll do Jimmy first. Jimmy wanted to go over the euro and the Singapore dollar. I think I had that up. Let me go there. Let's pull this back up. It was, sorry, my eyes can't find it now. Where was it? Did I scroll down too far? There it is. You want to look at the 4 hour. So Euro SGD 4 hour. Look at Oanda, and just price action right now looks bullish. Okay, let's bring up. We're on the 4 hour time frame here. Bring up our order blocks. Okay, me and Mickey once again for the 100th time. Don't make this up. This is not. We're just not making this up. This is why we call it the 4 hours so gold. Look at this bounce. The perfect bounce for a beautiful run on this pair. That is ideally what we want to look for, right? So we had that perfect bounce for continuation. Now, in my opinion, like I said, for the 4 hour, I like to look at. Sorry, let me jump over here to all of these together. Well, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just tick on the signals and overlays, the AI classifier, since we have all the order blocks already on here. And then, do I have it on? There we go. 3 signal. Okay, cool. So, there you go. In this case, before, we had a 3 signal directly after this order block bounce. In that case, more than likely, I would end up taking a long-term entry on this. NeoCloud, always great to have for like really big swings, but let's just say if on the 4 hour, I do like I showed you before, like to look at the smart trail, because it's gonna, when things break and structure breaks, it's gonna flip. But in this case, lovely bounce before off this level. You can see we are consolidating at this very moment, and we have extended on the oscillator. But the money flow is not that bearish. So at this current moment, for the 4 hour time frame, I would want to see a breakout of this high, which is 145, right? Break out of that high, and then a break of the smart trail. If we pull up, though, the NeoCloud again, you can see where that's sitting too. And you can notice the Neo tried to flip bullish, but now it flipped bearish down here, but flattened out. So that could be a good indication that this thing isn't done going higher. It just needed a harder reset. And it's starting to trade sideways. Let me take the smart trail back off. If, again, we were to pull a Fibonacci, though, from this recent swing point to the highs, look where it's bouncing. Bounce off the 786 and the 618, which is that golden zone that you really like to see. And it's currently in between, the 50% level and the 618. So right now, this is showing better potential of an upside. Oscillator also sitting there and looking like it wants to flip back. So if we get a breakout of 145.05, looks like, or 04, I really think we could retest the 145.8. So in this, because look at all the imbalances here that we have to fill on the upside. If we go into our, price action concepts indicator, we can turn on FVGs, we can see them. And those could be potential targets. So here you go. It already rejected off 1. We're setting an imbalance on the downside. I want to see a structure shift, and then we target these imbalances. 145.331 could be your first target. Next one would be 145.652 be your next target, then that swing high. So in this case, definitely looking good for a potential continuation of the upside so long as that structure gets shifted at 145. So I would wait for that break. If not, if it rejects again, then again, you target this 4-hour order block down here. 144 would be the start. So pay attention on that break of 145 to the upside. If it rejects, then potentially look short. So hopefully you're still here, Jimmy. I should have probably asked before that. Is gold running for us? It tapped down, but then it's back up. So let's see if we get a nice rally. Low volume right now on it. We had another question from Raptor, I think. Raptor earlier said use default parameters for order blocks and asset strength by percent, whether it makes sense to increase order block parameter from 5 to 7 or 10 to get stronger order blocks and not overload the graph. All I do is I increase the amount here. Their link stays the same. Okay. I just increase the amount of order blocks I want to be shown, and then I change the time frame. Mitigation's still the same as default close. Sometimes I'll show the breakers if I want to see a previous level that got mitigated to indicate a potential setup. Let's see, like here, 4-hour order block got mitigated right there. So that could be another target, but that's why the imbalances are nice and probably why it had some strong volume is because it was mitigating that order block. So yes, those are my defaults there. I usually just hit 500 because it's default to 5. I just put 2 zeros, and then I change the time frame according to what I want. I have ones for daily order blocks, and again, me and Mickey don't make this up. Daily order block got rejected here right at the 50% level, and then it retraced. So this is why it's super key to have these order blocks up at the max amount that you can, so you can really see the significant levels in which you're trading. This, I think, lined up with a 4-hour order block as well. Let's see if it did when this came up here. Okay, it was just, it was just a daily block. But again, we talk about, it being inside order block is a no trade zone, right? Wait till you exit on a lower time frame and then look for your setup. In this case, would have been a perfect short opportunity. Ended up bouncing now, and now we're just waiting to see which way it wants to continue. But for this case, looking good for the upside so far. I've shorted a few hours ago because of the graph in TV, Capital Broker. It looks more bearish on the oscillator matrix, and it is a short entry on my strategy. Okay, I mean, that's fine. That's what I'm saying, though. Right now, if you weren't already in an entry, right now, I wouldn't be in anything. I wouldn't enter anything if I had the opportunity right now. I'm saying you go long over 145, you look for a setup over 145, or you go short if it rejects that. And then retest, you could go short under the support here at 144.2. But if it rejects that 145 again, then I'd probably look short. But in this case, if I'm not already in a trade, I'm not going to take an entry until I see one of those things happen, right? So you're fine. This could easily, come back down for you. It's just a matter for me if I haven't entered yet. Like here, in this case, you're on the 4-hour. Let me just take off this for now so we can see this. This is a candle setup that I really like. I like when a candle, you have a bullish or bearish candle that's strong, and then the next candle has no retest. So I call it a no wick retest, right? So you had there where it never touched that high, came back down. It didn't fully engulf it, otherwise it would be close to an engulfing. But off of here, it went lower. So if we get something like that, like here, coming up where it doesn't retest this high, then you're looking really good at the downside. So yeah, and the money flow did still flip. So again, that's why I'm saying we're in this period where we doesn't know where direction it wants to go just yet. But other question was, Raptor, I will say about your strategy you said earlier, you're saying, Luke, a better way to think about it would identify reversals on a higher time frame. That's really good. Honestly, if you want to predict reversions or predict reversals, I would look into a mean reversion strategy. The mean reversion is just traditional market movement. And you can use that with the tick which is good to analyze mean reversion setups. But like essentially, if you don't know what mean reversion is, then just go research it. Very simple ideology on how to trade stocks, especially you have to find the ones in which the value is different to what it should be. Mean reversion, go look it up. Mean reversion is one of the most popular investing strategies that anyone could use for especially long-term or swinging. Is looking, you want to look for that stocks and assets. Pretty much stocks is probably the best way to use it, but that are away from their mean value. So, and yeah, that's pretty much what you do. And then you trade it accordingly. Gold. There we go. Gold, baby. We are currently up on gold 110 buckaroonies. I'm not going to move my stop just yet. But again, if it does retest this high, I'm going to move it to break even. So this is exactly what we were looking for. The oscillator was peaking. We liked the support off of this. It had our strategy set up so far. It was very weak to the downside. So we, after this aggressive move and taking out the low part of that oscillator, we like it. Now, again, this could do the same thing. It go up, retest, reject. That's fine. We want to see it do that. We want to see it retest that first before we move our stop. But if you want to now, if you want to play it safe, move your stop to the low right here, right? The reason we took this, risk to reward super low, right? Right here. Now, in this case, we have, $40 risk. I can move it now if we want. That's fine. $40 risk. Let's see if we can go to, that 210 high there is our target to retest those highs. Normally, I would retest the same lower high, like right here. You could have taken profit off, like we said before. But in this case, let's see if we get a breakout. But yeah, good job. If you guys followed me there, let's see if we can get a nice trade in. And then that'll be done for the day on that. I think we'll hit our 500 for the day, which is what we're looking for. Let me see. Also, you can develop a trading strategy using mean reversion with the tick. It's pretty fun. I've done it before with like Bookmap and stuff. And but it does get kind of crazy sometimes because of the volatility and all that. I like simple strategies, which Flux Algo provides. It's so much easier. Going back on some of the questions. Man, I just saw the comment on a chicken sandwich, and I want one now. Sounds so good.
Winner chicken dinner.
Can't wait to buy you your chicken dinner, Mickey.
Oh, I smell it. It's coming soon.
The first thing with the Neo strategy, if it pays, is getting Mickey a chicken dinner.
I'll eat it during live.
He's gonna eat it on live. We're both gonna get one. We're both gonna eat one. We'll have the chat vote on where we should get it from. Actually, right now, what would the chat want us to get a chicken dinner from? Chicken biscuit, it could be chicken tenders. It could be, or should it be a chicken sandwich? It has to be a chicken sandwich.
Something easy. I can't have like a full course dinner in front of the camera.
It would be chicken. It would just be a chicken sandwich or
chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets, yeah, maybe. It has to be a chicken dinner. The man said Costco chicken. Like a rotisserie. What do we ate a rotisserie on stream? Gosh, that would be just licking the bones, that would be good. You guys would love that, I'm sure.
Are you stalking a trade now, or what do you got going?
Yeah, we're in gold. We're just waiting on it to continue. Having some resistance at the 2008 level, but this is also. For those of you that are trading non-futures, it's not probably at the 2000. It might be, actually. Is that 2000 again? Futures are at 2000. They trade a little bit ahead of. You can't use this, though, as like this is going to hit 2008 because gold futures is already at 2008. That's not how it works. It just trades differently. Chicken wings. Yeah, but King, I want a specific place. Like, do we go to, Mickey's in Vegas, so he has everything. Oh, Mickey, you should go to Hattie B's. Have you had Hattie B's yet?
No, not yet. Should I put a GoPro on top of my head and just travel around?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. But do you know what Hattie B's is?
No, I don't.
So I live in Nashville, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's the best hot chicken place ever, and they put a location in Vegas.
Really?
Yeah. So it was originated here, and there's the only other location that's not in Nashville is in Vegas. I'm pretty sure. So maybe
look it up.
Do you like
Hattie
hot?
B's.
Do you like?
Spell it?
Do you like hot chicken? Have you ever had hot chicken?
Oh, here we go. Hattie B's.
Hattie
hot
B's.
chicken.
Yeah. Have you ever had do you like buffalo wings?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
well
yeah.
this isn't buffalo wings, but if you like spicy wings, if you like spicy chicken, hot chicken is like a dry rub, but it's really hot. It's really good.
Oh, okay.
But I would, if you do, get a medium. The medium is the perfect amount of spice. If you like.
Oh, it's in Cosmo, huh?
Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, the
hotel.
The hotel. Yeah.
Nice.
How far are you from the Strip?
Just 20 minutes.
Yeah, so maybe we'll have you go to the Cosmo and record the whole thing getting Hattie B's. That's awesome. Hattie B's is so good, man. It's so good. I want to do what? He said food pilgrimage to Vegas. Am I reading that right? What is that?
I want to do a food pilgrimage. Yeah, I think that's what he meant. Yeah.
All right, peeps, we are at $170. Looks like we might get a breakout, retest this high, and hit our profit for the day. I'm going to move stop to break even now. The only reason I don't like moving stop to break even on trading views is because I can't freaking see the P&L. I'm going to move it above break even so we can see the P&L. I'll move it accordingly if it retraces. But
push.
Let's see it, baby. Yeah, go. Yeah, we should get it. 180. Let's see if we get a break of this high here. Well, I mean, we can continue increasing that up. If it breaks this high, it should probably blow through to the 210. But we'll see. Do I have that set at? I have it set at 2.4 there. Yeah, we're gonna take it on that candle close up here. Let's see, today 379. So we'll see what it hits here in a sec. Push.
No kidding.
Yeah, right. Long the bearish money flow. It's just because it was the hyper trend really sold it. All right, see there, it retested that high and it rejected it now. But we have our stop and profit. I'm just gonna leave it here, to be honest. I kind of want to bring it. I might bring it up to below this low here. There we go. We'll just claim $70 if it retraces. But again, we want to see that retest of that high there. This one. This actually, if it does somewhat set up like this, it could go even higher, but I don't know. We're just gonna leave it where it's at. Yeah, it's mostly the hyper trend that sold that to me, because look at the differences here. We have this turning down, like it blew through that, so it's like it went up. In my opinion. So I was predicting that this thing would have that turning point there, especially with the bullish, because majority of the strategy has to do with the high, whatever it's called, the Neo Cloud. In this case, this Neo's not 100%, but just based on its price action, looked good there. So we'll see if we can get that breakout. Man, now I kind of want some. I'm trying to see. Okay, never mind. Yeah, now I want some chicken. Hold on, my wife is shopping.
Hurry
for
up!
baby
Hurry
toys.
up! Hit it!
Benji, that is way more confirmed. Yeah.
What's that?
You're like the the money flow being bullish. I mean, if we were to pull it, let's pull it back and look like at a 5 minute. 5 minutes. See, the 5 minute flipped. We had the the bearish Neo. I mean, I like the 3 minute early on, but even the 5 minute here was showing the money flow for a long setup, right? So we'll see, but I mean, the 3 minute always been the best for me on the Neo here for being bullish or bearish. We actually might get triggered here. This more volume coming in on this. So still, obviously, that's gonna be our target. We'll see if it sets up. But if we end up with $70, it's $70. We didn't lose. This is why I always talk about this strategy, and especially the biggest part about this trade, though, Benji, was the risk to reward. Risk to reward was way lower than it normally was, so it was like might as well take it with a little bit because it was only 10 ticks on this. So it was like we hit, I think, what, high 170-ish. Let me see. 119, pretty good. So in this case, we'll see what it ends up doing, but we're locked in, so it doesn't really matter now. I can just wait. I can wait and we still make money. Hold on, I gotta respond to potential Christmas presents for my baby. Mickey, is there anything you're looking at?
Yeah, I'm looking. Give me a second. Well, after your trade is done, I want to go over something here.
Yeah, I got you, Brisky. Do you have a video on the oscillator matrix? I think so. Yeah, we have a video on it. Yeah, go to the tube, the YouTube. Go to the LuxAlgo channel, and then go right here. Boom, oscillator matrix. New oscillator matrix V6 indicator overview. We also have a few setup series that talk about the oscillator matrix as well. So go into that if you want to learn more about, certain ways to utilize it. And we got stop for profit there. Hit the same high, which is funny. So there you go. Could have taken it off up there, but it doesn't matter. We were going for that high. We had a plan in mind. We just moved our stop up. And today, now we're at 247 on the day, which is fine. I mean, I'm not, going to force anything. The setup was there and we took it. But we'll see if it ends up continuing. If it, like I said though, if it would have broken that high, like we saw there, if it would have broken through that high, it would have blown through probably that 2010 level easy. So now we. Ideally, that isn't always the trade setup we want either. So, like, just that risk to reward where the entry was solid. So it ended up being pretty okay for what we took there. Nothing else really looking too juicy so far. ES finally flipped on that pump there, but crude oil actually came back through. I was actually looking for a short on crude oil of this break here, but in this case, that Neo's so tiny. Not a big fan. Could set up a higher low here and then continue. Crude oil, though, does not want to continue. Crude, though, maybe later today could have a setup. How long have we been going here on the stream? Been an hour 48. We'll probably be on here another 15, 20 minutes. Everything you guys want to go over, just let us know. Let's trade by colors.
All right.
You know what he's talking about there? King?
What's that? King. Let's see. Let me go over his trading strategy.
Trade by colors. I'm assuming.
All right, flip it over to me. I'll show you, King.
The color setups.
Yeah, the simple color strat. I got a new twist on it. All right. There you go. 4-hour dollar index. My favorite symbol to watch, right? All right. I only have candle coloring, Luxago candle coloring. I turned everything off. All right. I have it on long term. That's it. I could trade this. Let's back test it. Back test meaning let's scroll to the left. Let's just get a general feel for what this is. Green, red, purple, green, red, green, red. So you get the drift? Yeah, everyone's looking at this and saying, wow, there's money to be made. Yeah. If you keep the chart simple, right? You can have a million indicators on your chart and it still can be simple because you're going to train your mind to focus on one feature. If I have 40 indicators, if I've turned on every single feature on these indicators and to someone else, it looks like a spaghetti ball. But to me, if I just concentrate on the color, it's simple, right? This is just color. All right. I could trade with this. Now, I've always mentioned higher time frame for bias and lower time frame for entry. And that still holds true, right? But since we started this, it's all about tips and tricks, right? Here is a tip. Here is a trick. I am going to use a second entry chart. That's the same time frame. I'm going to use 2 4-hour charts. Everyone's listening now, right? I can see Jacob's eyes. Ooh. All right.
Gracious.
What I am going to do before I show you that chart, this is a 4-hour. This is only an example. You can use this same concept with another feature, right? I have this on autopilot long term. Okay. On another 4-hour time frame, I'm going to change that autopilot to a different trend term. Okay.
Dang,
there we go.
CL broke down too. Wow.
Here we go.
Going even more.
Here is the bottom chart is the same 4-hour chart. It's the same, right? Look at this. It's exactly the same. Price action. The colors are different because instead of long term, I have autopilot midterm. I could do short term. I'll show you short term later. Midterm. There you go. I can trade on one single time frame, but with 2 charts. Here you go. You see this long trend? Let me draw the global box as an example right here. I am taking long entries during the candle coloring bullish, right? Take a look at the bottom chart where I have this on midterm autopilot. Look how many re-entries I have. One entry, another entry, another entry. So you get the drift, right? You get the point. They're not going to be all winners, but that's where trade management comes into play. Okay. Okay, there you go. You avoid this. Why did I avoid this? Because on this 4 hour, it's purple. No trades. Okay. Let's move over here. This downtrend red bars. There's only one trade down here. So that's good. No brainer. All right. Let's move this over. This purple right here, I'm not touching. It's right over here. I'm not touching. Green uptrend. I'm only taking, let me expand this. I'm going to show you the re-entries. Right there. One. There's another re-entry. Right? So, what we could do is, that's one way to optimize the chart according to your style, right? Here's another way to optimize. It's a term that we throw around a lot in the room, but I'm going to explain what it really means, right? Pick your favorite asset and pick a time frame and work your way down, right? Let's just say you don't like 4 hours. Okay. Let's say you're a scalper and you love living on the edge, right? I don't blame you. Let's go down to 1 minute. It seems like it's so popular. 1 minute. Look at that. Okay. Let's say you don't like the colors of this. Optimize the chart according to your style. Why don't we change it to midterm? Does that look better? Could be. Why don't we go down to short term? See, I am optimizing the chart according to my style. Right? Could this be better? Yeah, it looks better. Now, if you use a higher time frame, see, this is 1 minute. If you use a higher time frame, let's just say 15 minutes, take the 1 minute candle coloring in the direction of the 15-minute candle coloring. I am pretty sure that on a 15-minute, the candle coloring is all red here. So just take all your short entries. Right? So that's how you optimize the chart. Okay? My settings may not be your settings, right? And your settings may not be mine. So that's why we always use the word just depends. You need to optimize it according to your style. So this is how I optimize it. Pick your favorite asset, start from a higher time frame daily, and work your way down until you find a happy balance. It could be 1 minute. It could be 15 minutes. It doesn't matter. No, there's no right or wrong answer. You know, just find that happy balance that you're comfortable in trading. Okay, so that's just another tips and tricks on my end here for today. Hopefully that makes sense. All right.
Beautiful, beautiful. Makes sense to me.
Cool.
Cool.
What else you got?
I mean, I'm just looking back over some of the higher time frames here on Bitcoin and them. Let's take a look at the ES and NQ 4 hours. We haven't had a look at that, and my goodness. It could have easily called a bulls coming in today due to what? The 4 hour order blocks on ES. Beautiful 11% bounce on this 4 hour time frame. 12.7 million that printed back in May. Nice setup here. If we were to pull this down to a lower time frame, of course, I'm gonna have to crank this up. I don't think we would have. We might have. I'm gonna put on breakers, but let's go to a 15-minute chart and look at this 4 hour time frame. Here you go. Today, potential setup could have been occurred as we look to see support. I would say I would still be waiting for it tomorrow. I wonder if even if we go to the 5 minute, if it will show. Sometimes it doesn't, based on let's see here. based on what it's, yeah. So the 5-minute doesn't even have it either. So 15-minute is where you would look for it on here, and that makes a lot of sense because it is a daily order block here. But coming out of clear chop, right? We're clearly chopping at this level. Okay, you can just tell by the amount of signals. And so when that occurs, especially if we go to a 4-hour and we see that it is occurring at an order block, we know that, what's up, Fancy? How you doing? Welcome back. Welcome back. We know that this could be a key level of potential reversal. What I do like to see, though, is we do have the oscillator decreasing from an overflow, which is strong. We did have perfect divergence set up. As you can see, it was marked by that blue line as well. So that divergence set up right here, and then continue to set up here. So again, what do you wait for in divergence? You want clean reaction. And that being at an order block as well really lined up nicely for a potentially green day today. I would still be waiting for a entry, though, if I was actually wanting to take this level. And that is because I want to see possibly a retracement again or some type of bullish setup like the money flow flipping for a nice trend reversal or something where I can enter in more on the long side. But in this case, beautiful move off that order block. On the weekly time frame, as you can see, we previously, and we don't make this up yet again, extended, rejected 4,600 previous order block from back in April of 22. Beautiful rejection. This here, if you just even take off the signals and overlays, this price action here, that candle setup was literally perfect for an indication that it was going to continue lower right here. These two candles back to back. Insane based off of what it already is. Now, if we zoom in more, it kind of looks like it is an engulfing. It is 100% an engulfing. Yep. Notice it gapped up on the open and it closed down, way down. That happening at an order block on a weekly chart should immediately trigger, okay, this sucker's going lower. Well, guess what? You got exactly what you predicted. All that lined up, and we've currently have dropped over 8% since that setup. And the order block fully confirmed that bearish engulfing. That's something you really look for. Now, another thing is, if you want to wait for your also fib retracement, look at this. Order block engulfing, bearish engulfing on the ES 1 week, off the order block. You get a swing point down here. You draw your fib to the swing point. Look where it rejected. Perfectly off the 50 and the 618. This hammer right here could have been another beautiful opportunity for a short with a stop above the high, and you literally had the perfect trade. 8% yet again. 357 points on the ES just from that candle analysis. Guess what you could have targeted? A breaker block down here. Look where it's trying to bounce. At a breaker block. We don't make this up. These are the 4-hour blocks on here. These aren't even the weekly order blocks. We pull up, I don't think. Oh, sorry. They're the daily order blocks. So there you go. Let's see what the weekly said. The weekly here, we go back, had an order block there that also rejected. If I were to pull up, hide overlap, take that off, then we will be able to see it for sure. But it ends up, I keep forgetting the weekly actually shows the trading, how it played out. But again, here you go, that overlap, same thing. You had a weekly order block lining up with a daily order block. This is why sometimes we say, hey, you might want to have multiple instances of the price action concepts indicator so you can see how these order blocks line up with each other, especially on higher time frames. If I pull up the daily order blocks here, and I'm just going to paint them gold, okay? Daily order block. The red here, I'm going to paint it, let's just make it bright green. Okay, that doesn't look very good. Let's bring up like a white. Let's do white on the weeklies. Weekly order block overlapping with a daily order block. You tell me where that rejected. This rejected perfectly in the exact middle of both of these order blocks. This is where they're lined up together. Look where it rejected. Off of that, you had 8% to the downside. That's why you don't mess with what the order blocks tell you, especially if you get a candle setup that's something like a bearish engulfing. This perfectly predicted that that level would be a reject level. Got it perfect. Lower high on a fib retracement of the 618 golden pocket, then dropped another 8%. It's just, this is why we reiterate the fact that don't fight the trend. Don't fight these order blocks. Once you get that rejection, you get it confirmed, then look for your setup and take it. If that setup doesn't occur, then you don't take it. If it does occur, like a fib retracement into a hammer, a bearish hammer candle, like this one right here, then you are literally locked in for the ideal setup, and it paid accordingly. So it's waiting for all of those levels to set up. That's the weekly. In this current moment, if I were to pull up, I think the breakers on the, let's see, do we have the dailies? Let me look at the daily order block. One of these we don't have the breakers on. Boom. We are currently inside a breaker block on the daily chart. This could have been a target point. Right here. I'm going to, hold on. Let me mute my Slack. I'm getting a lot of Slack notifications, so you guys don't get bombarded. Okay. Right now, inside this daily order breaker block that broke out when this ran. This is your first level of, okay, potential, reversal, potential setup triggering trade, right? So at this moment, because this is a weekly chart, right? This is day one. Or actually, sorry, this isn't day one. Weekly start what? Does it start Sunday? No. What does a weekly start on? Do you know? Weekly candle? Mickey?
The weekly.
Maybe it does start on Monday. It does start on Monday. Never mind. I'm silly. I'm thinking of a 7-day week. This is 4 days to 3 hours. So it's considering the entire whatever week. So there you go. Monday, new weekly candle. If this weekly candle can close outside of this breaker block, then you could consider a potential setup for a bounce, right? This hit our first TP at the lows. Look what else is lining up right now. You have a strong previous resistance, right? If this gets confirmed that it wants to bounce here, then you could get your early indication that this thing wants to potentially go take out this imbalance is sitting right here, or just the imbalance that is currently formed on this sell-off from last week. Now, remember, price tends to retrace before heading lower. So this could be a very minor retracement before it breaks even lower. But in this stage that we're in right now, this is the first level in which we see reaction, and we're currently getting that reaction. Now, will it last all week? I don't know. That's where we have to wait, look at a lower time frame, see where price could then reject next, which at this very moment, where this change of character formed, is pretty much where some of these wicks line up. You're looking at 4,200. 4,200 could be very psychological, and it could first act as resistance before heading lower. But in this case, I would target that 4,200 first because we are quite sold off, especially on the weekly. So let's see what it does. If that occurs, then we look for our next setup, whether it's long or short yet again. So in this case, ES for now, week starting off very strong, which is great. We'll see if we get a continuation to the end of the week. If we go over to the NQ, NQ has, a lot more volatility, a lot stronger movement. As you can see, this thing went up and nearly retested its all-time high. Nearly retests its all-time high on this retracement, right? We just got a bearish change of character last week. So the NQ, in my opinion, looks weak still. It's not like It just broke the 50 level on the oscillator as well. NQ has got room to go down here, especially with this breaker sitting that broke perfectly. You got some imbalance sitting right here that's currently just touched last week. So if we were to touch that imbalance, we would then potentially flow through it and then touch the 13,600. But it's another one of those things. We have a full week now. If this doesn't retest last week's low on the NQ, then I will probably look a little more bullish. You're going to get a, what do they call it? I'm drawing a blank. Intrabar or whatever, which could indicate a nice setup for a reversal as well. So once you get that first initial setup, you could get it. We are in a bearish change of character, so I would be leaning more to the downside with that bearish change of character, right? And there's a lot more room on the NQ as well to the downside. Let's jump over to the Dow weekly. Dow weekly retesting lows here. Sorry, of the trend. It didn't fully retest the low, but the low is sitting at 31,653-ish. So Dow just got a bearish change of character. Still kind of bearish on that. Okay, so as of now, Dow and NQ showing pretty bearish setups. Is this week going to be able to either rebound off of these previous bouncing points, previous support, or is this week going to continue lower? This is only Monday. We have 4 days and 3 hours left. So let's see if we get a potential reject later in the day and then maybe close red this week. If that's the case, then I do think we head a bit lower the rest into November. But October usually is always a red month. As you can see, we've been pretty bearish already this month. So maybe we get a little bit of retracement in November. CL, been in a nice decline. Again, daily order blocks. Go to the 1 day. CL rejected this daily order block here perfectly. Had a liquidity grab and then closed lower, and then look what happened. Just dumped off. I do think CL could easily hit 80 this week. We'll see if it does with the crude oil inventories on Wednesday. I think if you see a surplus, then we will end up hitting 80 pretty easily after that report. So look for that retracement down to 80 or even 78-ish range on crude oil this week. As long as it can break this low that it had last week, yeah. Sorry. Is it last week? Yeah. Let's go to gold again. Let's look at gold daily chart. Or sorry, weekly. Gold weekly. Let me pull up a better. Here we go. There we go. Gold weekly. What did it bounce off of? Bounce off of bounce off of 2. I took overlays off. We hide overlap here. No, we don't have. We have to leave it off. We can notice where to bounce, smart trail, as well as a weekly order block, right? A high volume order block. Bounce roughly off there, have the structure shift. This thing on a weekly chart, look at it. Broke this downtrend on the oscillator. Oscillator is looking like it wants to flip. If it does flip, this thing, like we said already, the 2040 level is going to be our next target. 2035, you can even go for the candle close and open here from back in July of 2020. We'll see if it can continue. Looks really good. Perfect bounce after sweeping these lows and then right back up. Target for now on the weekly, 2040, 2035 on gold this week. Next up, let's look at Bitcoin weekly chart. I don't know if we looked at that. We didn't look at the Bitcoin weekly, but this is what we talked about last week. Notice what this is lining up with is demand from before. Could it be supply? We don't know. We'll see what this week does. If this week rejects, we close lower. We want to see a retest of the 32,000 level. Right where that break of structure is, right where previous resistance is. Then off of that level, potentially continue, maybe hit 40K in a few weeks. But with the oscillator being extended as it is, I could really see this rejecting. Also generate a 1 signal. So 1 signal, not very strong. 3 signal, very strong. Look, 3 signal before, we rallied quite a bit, probably 10, 20%. One signal, we don't know just yet. We've got to see if it rejects this old breaker block, which clearly was demand before. So look for that rejection, retrace to 32K, and maybe we get a setup and continue to 40,000. Let me see. Let's go to, we did gold, we did Bitcoin. Anything I'm missing? Nat gas. We look at nat gas. Let's look at nat gas. Nat gas. This thing got demolished back in December of last year. It fell off quite a bit. Nat gas $4 target. We've gotten some recent volume, but we are extended. Notice the money flow hasn't flipped yet. We've been super choppy, low volume. Maybe we'll get some more volume come in later by the end of this year. We'll see. Previous December, as you can see here, a lot of volume in December last year. So maybe we'll get that again this year. We'll have to wait and see. For now, got the bullish change character. Money flow is trying to flip. Either direction right now is invalid, in my opinion. If we retest anything, it'd be $4, maybe come back down. But for now, we're even retesting the previous bounce of this low here at 356-ish. So we'll see how this week ends up closing. Nothing too crazy on the weekly chart for nat gas for now. Let's look at the Euro USD. And then I think there we will call it the day and probably see you tomorrow. But stay tuned for that. Euro USD. Weekly chart. Currently in a bearish change character with a bearish money flow flip. So this thing is already lining up for a nice break potentially of the smart trail. Let's flip it over to the NEO. See if the NEO's flipped. NEO was barely bullish. It was mostly bearish before. Had that massive downtrend before. We got a 2 signal in this current moment. Let's see how it reacts off this low. With trends, what needs to happen? You need to reject off lows or bounce off previous highs. This is previous low. If this week you get another close down and the candle turns red, I'm on a midterm. So in this case, if it closed red, then yeah, you could see a potential down run. But in my opinion, I want to see this flip back, hit roughly that 50 level. So in this case, this week would have to close a little bit higher, probably up where it almost or the high of last week, and then potentially reject off this breaker block, and then we would target the 102.7, 103 level, which is a previous order block. So 103 to 103.7 to 103. So we'll see if it wants to continue off of that and head lower as well. But I think that is it. We could look back over, see if there's any setups while we were talking. I don't think there were. Like I said, crude oil had a small minor setup. But notice how small that NEO is. Not really going to take a small NEO. But in this case, there is a potential where we could take entry, like we said before. It did wake up with a hit entry. And my stop would have been above that candle. So it only would have been $90 risk. Then we would have targeted this low, right? And we would have hit for $310. So it would have been a nice risk to reward off of that if I were to take it. But we didn't end up taking it, which is fine. I'm not really stressed about that. But overall, nice little day here as we recap. 247. If I wasn't greedy on gold this morning, we would have been at 500 for the day. So just note the theory of the day is don't get greedy. Don't go against your strategy because you think it might break out, because it's not going to break out. Now, you might get lucky every once in a while, and it will. But in this case, be smart, follow your strategy and your plan, and you'll be way more successful. You go over today's recap. I'm going to load that back, make sure we're good. We are currently 700 and around $60 away, $770 away from being funded. Hopefully we get that this week. Hopefully, maybe we have a really good day tomorrow and we hit that. I don't know. It depends because, of course, we target the highs. Sometimes the highs could be $250. Sometimes they can be $300. From now on, though, we're sticking to that rule so we don't get some crappy FOMO like gold and, get we had $250 in profit. We didn't take it. So if end up tomorrow we have 2 trades and they end up being $300-400, then we're funded. If not, we continue on to the next day. I think that's the key to overall any of these strategies. We are currently at 52,234. Let's see how many days that was over. We go this month. We started 10-1 to 10-30, or we didn't start 10-1, sorry. First trade occurred on 10-19. So if we talk about weekdays, we've been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is our 8th day, I think. Yeah. Wait, yeah, first day was 1, 2. Yeah, 8th day today. So we're 8 days in, and we are up $2,234. Now, of course, like I said, if we pass on this, we will continue to trade on this account. But I do want to open a $150 challenge account so we can, instead making $500 a day, we can make $1,000 to $1,500 a day because we can trade more lots. We don't have to worry about doing these little ones. But Top Step is giving away free ones, so we just said let's just do it. And so that's the journey we're on at this current moment. Today we hit $270 after fees, $247.50. 560 in profitable trades. We had 2 losing trades, but that was only for $290. So 2 little minor losing trades for $100-something. So remember, winners, you want to be greater than your losers. In this strategy, always want to move your stop loss as fast as you can. You can start it off minor, but you want to move it when you can because we're looking for a scalp. In that case, scalping takes anywhere from, let's see, average winning trade time was 24 minutes. So, that's pretty fast. Obviously, really fast would be like 5-10 minutes. But in this case, 24 minutes, we want to make sure by the time we hit the 15-minute mark or so, if it's still in profit, we want to adjust that stop to break even. So we know we're either going to hit profit or we're going to hit break even. In this case, like you saw earlier, we adjusted to our stop and profit, and we hit a trade for, let's go down here, for $50, right? It wasn't a crazy trade, but we had a chance to hit 190 on it, or roughly 190, like 180. But we didn't end up, taking it because we had a plan. And our plan ended up hitting a stop, which is totally fine. But we're green on the day, 247, and we're now $700 and roughly $70 away from being funded. So
nice.
Stick around. Tomorrow we'll probably be live again. Stick around. Maybe tomorrow we'll be even closer, if not hit it. So we appreciate you guys joining us. And if you do like the strategy we're coming up with, me and Mickey, of course, that we're using, obviously, we're Lux Algo. We're part of the Lux Algo community. Me and Mickey have been traders with Lux Algo for a while. I've been around trading with Lux Algo since they released back in 2020. I've used it forever. I can promise you that if you put in the time and you go through these settings, me and Mickey already talked about this and we thought it was really funny. We literally, when we're bored or like the market's closed or something, we will go into the premium indicators and we'll start messing around with settings, going back, looking at potential setups, different time frames, ways in which we can use the indicator to be profitable, right? Using the replay mode feature on TradingView can really help with that as well. Figure out how many steps you need to make an entry. Do you want certain things to happen on the indicator? Do you want certain features to be on and showing certain things, turning points on the oscillator, the money flow, the change of characters, stuff like that? We go through and we just take the dedication and time because we love doing it to figure out what works for us in our own trading strategy. And then we develop things like this, which has generated $2,200 in 10 days. It's doable. It's 100% doable. Don't come into the indicator and be like, oh, I'm just going to follow every single signal because it's going to be profitable because that's how trading works. It doesn't. The market adapts every single day. It's different every single day. You just have to find with the features what's going to adapt with the market. We like the NeoCloud. The NeoCloud we know adapts with the market in real time. So we need to figure out a strategy around the NeoCloud that adapts with it. And so far, we have found something that does, if that's something that you like. Otherwise, if you want like a long-term thing, you can look at like the order blocks. Why do we say wait for reaction on the order blocks? Is because the only way an order block is valid if it actually shows reaction and the market is adapting to that, resistance level or whatever. whatever it takes, we're going through and doing the work in order to create strategies that will work. And that's what you need to do when you sign up with the indicators. You don't need to just jump in blindly, start looking at stuff. You either need to take a strategy that is in our premium strategies section in the VIP Discord, and you need to make your own twist on it or use it the way you use it. I will say that just copying a strategy is not going to be the same for everybody. In this case, the strategy I developed with the NeoCloud is what works for me. But if somebody tries to trade it and follows the rules that I set in place, it might not work for them because they might, have a different risk profile that, doesn't, that conflicts with my risk profile when trading this. Because in my case, I said, let's move the stop as the trade is playing on. Not everybody might move that stop. They might wait and not move it. All I know is the way I do it works for me, and the way I see the candles with the NeoCloud works for me. Now, they might not work for everybody. So that's why I'm saying you take maybe the generalization of the strategy that I told you, and you come up with your own twist using, a different feature from a different premium indicator, using the oscillator, whatever it takes to create that strategy. But going in, spending the time after hours, and then utilizing what you've learned during hours is really going to help you find your edge in this market. Be patient. Don't worry about getting in a trade 24/7. I deal with the same crap that you do with the FOMO and the the greed in which I lost today. Again, I'm going to tell you because I'm upset about it, but lost the $250 today that I could have had. It was there. I could have taken it. So that's what it takes. You have to put the time in. Don't just expect it to just fall in your lap. And with that, I will say you can try these out risk-free for 30 days. Just go onto the website, LuxAlgo, or the link in the description. Hit get 30 days risk-free. You can test out you get all three indicators, 30 days for risk-free. We had that 2 o'clock algo hit just now. It's moving. But that way you can come in here, try it out for 30 days, see if something works for you with replay mode and whatever you need. See if something works for you. If it doesn't, then you can get your money back. So there you go. Making it super easy for you guys. But I can't stress it enough. You have to continue practicing. If I wanted to be a good basketball player, I can't just go out and start making baskets. I have to literally shoot day in and day out, right? Get my rhythm down. Figure out, what timing works for me when on my release, whatever it is. I have to work on my footwork to be a better basketball player. It's the same thing with anything. With trading as well, you have to work at it. You can't just jump in. I can't buy a basketball and it says, okay, this basketball is going to improve your win rate by 10% and just start shooting and draining every shot, right? So that's just not how it is. Respect the market. Make sure that you are treating the market as a business. Don't be silly with it. Respect it, and it will return quite a bit of money back to you if you respect what it does, what it's telling you. And now I'm getting to the ranting point where I don't even know what I'm saying. All right, I think that's time to call it.
Nah, you're on a soapbox just like I do. Oh, nice.
I mean, we have to remind these people. It's like it's not just comes to you immediately. Like you have to put the time in. And
10 pips, baby.
It's different for everybody too. Some people learn and know their risk in a week. Some people it takes 5 years, like me. It took a long ass time. So it just depends on who you are and how you're able to understand your way of trading and what works for you. So I'm gonna leave you guys at that. Luxago.com, risk-free, 30 days. Also, we have a bunch of free indicators for you guys. If you click library at the top of the page, a lot of free indicators based on what you might want. And then if you want to learn more about the premium indicators we've gone over today, hit the resources and then the guides button here. And then we do have full in-depth information on each part of what the premium indicator offers, as well as how to use them and utilize them to create that profitable strategy that you're looking for. Obviously, we'll go over whatever you guys want as well within the indicators, but stay tuned this next month. Big updates coming as well. So if you are in the Discord, you'll get notified. You'll get notified everywhere, actually. We'll go over it on stream as well. a lot of fun stuff coming. So you guys all be really excited about it, I'm sure. So stay tuned for that. One last review of the news this week, so you guys know. Let's see here. Actually, I think I have it up on this guy. Let's go back here. I have this week. Yes. All right. Let's jump to our end screen here, guys. All right. One more time on the news so you guys know. Make sure you always stay up to date on what news is coming out, so you don't get stopped or get some volatility that liquidates you in 2 seconds. All right. First off, consumer confidence is tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. No, 10 a.m. if you're in a position. Hopefully it's a swing position and you're not too stressed about it. Remember, Wednesday, heavy news day. We do have FOMC on Wednesday, late in the day. I don't know how to see that earlier. Starting off early, though, we have 8:15, hour 15 minutes beforehand. We have the ADP non-farm employment numbers coming out. That's going to probably set preference on the day before we hit 10 a.m. 10 a.m., PMI, ISM. That's a big number coming out as well. Anything with 3 stars is always super strong. If trading crude oil, 10:30 always on Wednesday. We're looking for a surplus, something more positive, so we can drop down to 80s or 78 level. So in this case, those of you who trade crude oil like I do, if that number comes out and it's positive, it's higher than this 1.37, and we haven't really sold off up until Wednesday, so next 2 days we haven't sold off much, we could indicate that day would be a good day for shorts. We look for short setups that day, right? If it ends up being above 1.371. Let's see here. And then after 10:30, FOMC. I would probably suggest not really trading on Wednesday. That is up to you if you want to trade on Wednesday. But initial jobless claims on Thursday. Thursday is going to be kind of relaxed. We can go back in and probably find some fun volatility trades. And then Friday, we have the average hourly earnings. We can learn more about our unemployment rate there as well, which will be huge on that number on Friday, 8:30. All that's pre-market. So that'll set a nice day. And then we have ISM at 10. So a lot of 10 a.m. news today, okay? So make sure you understand. 10 a.m. news, a lot this week. The minute 10 a.m. Eastern hits, 9 a.m. Central hits, whatever the time Mickey's in hits. I can't remember what that one is. You got to make sure that you know that news is coming. We appreciate you guys joining us today, and we are going to see you tomorrow, probably about the same time. Mickey, anything else you want to leave us with?
No, everything is good. Just be smart, trade simple, and then build up from there. I mean, that's
Beautiful.
Pretty much it,
If you're with us in the VIP Discord, I trade there every single morning with these setups, so come hang out. Maybe we'll get another setup tomorrow, and hopefully it'll be fun by the end of the week. We appreciate you guys joining. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check the links in the description for anything we talked about today. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day. Mickey, you as well.
Have a good one.
And if you have any questions, bring them back tomorrow. We'll happily go over them. All right. See you guys.